Good morning. How y'all doing? It's another day, another walk. It's actually really beautiful this morning. It's nice and cool. It got a breeze to it. The sun is out, but it ain't cooking me. Yeah, it's a good day. So, everyday life takes certain things to move forward, to move on, to keep going, to persevere, to be dedicated. Life takes a lot of things for it to become what it needs to be. But one of the most, because I always talk about the most, something that's very, very vital and very important is the commitment. Commitment is dedicating your 100% into whatever that thing is that's gonna fuel your life, right? That's commitment. So let's talk a little bit about commitment. I can give you some examples like I always do. Y'all know, oh, my hair put up this morning, but y'all know I love rainbows, right? I can't do locks. Locks is a commitment I'm not willing to take. I cannot change my hair often enough. It's just not for me. That's a commitment. People who have locks, committed. That's a commitment. That's a commitment. Because though you have many styles, though there are some bad locticians out here, you can't just comb that out and redo it. Oh, maybe the new age can, but we couldn't. If you had locks, that's what you had. That's a commitment. That's one type of commitment. We get up and go to work every day. Rain, sleet, snow, it don't matter. Ice, it don't matter. When you need the money, you get up and go. You feeling bad, it don't matter. A kid at home sick, it don't matter. You still get up and go to work faithfully. You only sit down for 2 or 3 seconds before you getting up and going back to work. That's a commitment. That's a commitment. There are other situations that are mental. There are mental situations like being positive and pouring yourself full of positivity every day. That's a commitment. Because you got to get up and do it every moment of the day. And you're going to have to fight through it many times. That's a commitment. That's a commitment. Being negative is a commitment. It's a choice. Positivity and negativity is a choice. But being negative is a commitment. Because you get up and pour that into yourself every day. Oh, I'm going to be sick if this happens. Oh, I just can't take this. Oh, this keep happening. There's always a complaint. That's a commitment, baby. Whether you believe it or not, that is a commitment. Let me tell you something special about a commitment. A commitment says a lot about who you are and what you do. Yes? All right. So, life thrives on commitments. Life thrives on commitments. Okay? Let me tell you what I mean by that. A person that's committed is a fighter. They push. It doesn't matter what. You know those strong friends you don't check on? That's a commitment to be strong. That's a commitment. It has a lot to do with your personality, yes. But that's a choice too. I don't have to. They don't have to. That's a commitment. That is a commitment. We choose to be strong because we know. But that don't mean we don't have weak moments. And in those weak moments, the fighter, the committed to be strong and positive every day, the fighter, it picks up and it fights when we can't. It's a commitment. Commitment takes fighting. You got to fight for it. Number one. Number two, you got to be able to deal with the struggles. Because it ain't going to be easy. When you committed to something, it ain't easy. You got to be okay with being knocked down, struggling through the process, continued disappointment, no support. You got to be okay with no. You got to be okay with rejection. You got to be okay with falling down after you done built all this stuff up. You got to be okay with the world saying something you not. You got to be okay with all these things to commit to something. But like I told you a minute ago, go through all that and keep being committed to what you do. And I promise you that life will thrive to what you're committed to. So be committed to positive living every day. Be committed to pouring yourself full of what you want to spill over. My cup runneth over. What are you pouring? What are you giving yourself? Be committed to building your business. Be committed to living your dream. Be committed to understanding that God already has your steps ordered. And inside of those ordered steps is your purpose. But you'll never find it if you ain't committed to the process. It ain't gonna be easy. You gotta be committed. You gotta do whatever it takes, however it takes, whenever it takes, that will feed into that positivity and watch life thrive for you. Because at the peak of you being ready to give up is the peak that commitment starts to push for you, because you ain't got it. But you done built so much commitment up in this store tank that even though you ain't got it right now, commitment is still fighting for you. Why? Because you did everything it took. You was 100%. You were all in. You were the one that stood. No matter how you felt, there were many days where I was like, baby, you ain't worth it. But then somebody told me I was. And guess what? I done had some downs. I done had some ups. But me staying committed to baby kept me pushing when nobody else was committed to me. You got to commit to yourself. You got to keep going. You got to understand that life is what you commit to. So what are you committed to? What are you wanting life to thrive with? What push are you giving life to give you purpose? You got to get purpose on your own. You got to be committed to whatever it takes to find your purpose. So I go to church at GCBC, right? I love my pastor and first lady. I love my pastor and first lady. Y'all have no idea, okay? Dr. Douglas and Dr. Lakedra Brown. That's my pastor and first lady. But anyway, I do a little bit of everything at church, right? Why? Because I did so much growing up that I don't really know what I like as an adult. So I tell them I can't commit to nothing right now because I don't know what I want to do. But when I do find it and I do commit, you'll get everything I got. The crazy part is I give everything I got anyway. That's just who I am. That's who I practiced to be for so long. So it naturally comes. I am naturally me. My mind is always growing. So what I'm going to tell you is, I don't want to tell you not to commit to anything, but I do want to say don't commit to just anything. Commit to something. One thing. Commit to one thing. Do it for 7 days, just so you can practice before you really start. Do it for 7 days. Commitment takes discipline. It takes discipline. You got to put away that old and force the new out. That's commitment. Commitment takes discipline. You got to be able to say no. You got to be able to not people please at that time. And sometimes you will think people need you. But at this moment, you need you. You got to commit to you first. Stop giving up your life for everybody else. And commit to you. I say that to parents on a regular basis. Stop giving up your life for your kids and do it equivalent. Live your life to the abundance that you can live it so that your kids can see that is available to them. If you don't live it, if you don't do something for yourself, then you can't think that the next generation is going to do something for themselves. You got to be able to commit to something. When you're depressed, commit to just getting out of the bed. That's it. When you know that depression is heavy on your body, all I'm asking you to do is put your 2 feet on the ground and stand up. Count to 10 and get back in the bed if you have to. But you do it every day until you can take a step. That's a commitment in a time where you can't see what's necessary. That's a commitment. That's hard to do when you're depressed. It's hard to get out the bed when you're depressed. Or how about in a moment where you have 100% anxiety? When you feel yourself getting to that point, how about you just practice taking one deep breath? Go back to your anxiety if you have to. It's not about the ultimate. It's about making a balance and committing to the process. You cannot just get rid of a negative thought. It don't work like that. And I hate that people say that. All you got to do is switch it on. You cannot just switch it on. You have to learn a balance first. Y'all know I love kids and I talk about kids every day. But think about the walking process of a child. You got to do something every day. So every time you have a negative thought, give it a positive thought. And that's what you practice for 7 days. That means you got to be mindful of what you're thinking. You got to think about what you're thinking. Why? Because if you don't think about what you're thinking, you won't even realize that you're having those thoughts. You got to commit to something. So wake up, get up out your bed, and commit to whatever it is today has for you to commit to. Practice it for 7 days. You got to be disciplined. You got to make up your mind. You have to have a strong decision. You got to be okay with struggles. You got to be okay with disappointments. You got to be okay with all that mess. Stop living in regret. Let that go. Why you can't change it? You can't change it. So commit to changing. You can't change what happened. You can't change the things of the past. You can't change what just happened 1 second ago. So to commit to changing. Change yourself. Change your mind. Change your thought process. Change the way you physically act. Change your emotional acting. Change your spiritual acting. Like change. Stop worrying about what happened and be about what's going to happen. And what's going to happen is you committing to something. So commit. So commit. It ain't that hard. Just do it. You either are or you not. Commit to something for 7 days. I dare you. I dare you to be disciplined enough for just 7 days. 7 days. That's all I'm asking. I dare you to be committed to something for 7 days. And I dare you to make the best out of it, even if you're scared. Because being committed to something means you got to work through fear. Fear is a beast. Fear is a beast. I'm telling you, fear is an absolute beast. It will cripple you and you have no idea what you're scared of. I tell people all the time, try it twice. First time, you going into it with your fear and everything. Second time, you know what to expect. Do you really like it the second time? Yes or no? If you don't like it, you don't like it. Okay, don't do it again. But at least you tried it. I be telling people that all the time. It is so many opportunities out here, but you so scared to walk out your door that you don't even see the doors that are set in front of you. And if you scared of walking outside your own door, you know you ain't finna walk into another door when you walk outside. God has so many doors waiting for you. All you have to do is walk the path. I didn't know that this was going to happen, but walk the path. Commit to continue walking. Commit to taking one step and putting it in front of the other. Commit to making sure that you stay on the path that's given to you and not wavering into something that doesn't belong to you. My favorite movie, Wizard of Oz. Stay away from the poison poppies. What I'm telling you is to commit to the process. What I'm telling you is commit to yourself. What I'm telling you is believe that you can commit. So the rainbow we chase today is commitment. If you ain't found that rainbow yet, you better go find it, honey. Because listen to me, all those beautiful colors ain't there for nothing. And ain't nobody just black and white. So at the end of the day, commit yourself to something for 7 days. Really be disciplined and dedicated to it. Give it 100% of what you have. Give it to it. Feed it and see what happens. They say if you feed a stray, it keep coming back. Don't feed the strays. They tell you at the zoo, don't feed the monkeys, because the monkeys gonna keep coming back. Feed it. I dare you to feed it. And then I want you to come back and be like, hey, I got this, that, and the other. Tell me about it. I want to hear. Even if you just inbox me and be like, man, I tried this, that, and the other, and it didn't work. Let's talk about it. What I'm telling you is you got it in you to do. You got it in you to do. 100%. You have everything it takes already built inside of you.
Halfway point reached.
You just gotta walk the path and stay committed to putting one foot in front of the other, no matter what you run into. So, make today great. Thank you for chasing these rainbows with me. Commit to something, and peace, love, and I ain't gonna do it. I'm not that old though, so while y'all talking about look at how old you are, I'm not that old. That's my mama and them.